Welcome to the Rare History Channel. Top 10 Unbelievable Facts about Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter's full names were James Earl Carter Jr. He was born on October 1, 1924, in Georgia, U.S. He is the 39th President of the United States. He served from 1977 to 1981. He served as the country's chief executive during a time of serious problems at home and abroad. He was unable to successfully solve those problems. His attempt for re-election failed due to this. Here's a quick look at some fascinating facts about the 39th president. Fact number 1. Growing up. Jimmy Carter grew up in Plains, Georgia, where his father owned a peanut farm and a local store. Growing up, he worked at his father's store and enjoyed listening to baseball games on the radio. He was a good student in school and also an excellent basketball player. After graduating from high school, Jimmy went to the United States Naval Academy at Annapolis. In 1946, he graduated and entered the Navy, where he worked on submarines, including the new nuclear-powered submarines. Jimmy loved the Navy and had planned to spend his career there until his father, James Earl Carter Sr., died in 1953. Jimmy left the Navy to help with the family business. Number 2. Carter won the Nobel Peace Prize. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. This was due to his humanitarian work, or his decades of untiring effort to find peaceful solutions to international conflicts, to advance democracy and human rights, and to promote economic and social development. His post-presidency activities were viewed as more favorable than during his tenure. Number 3. Carter was a great farmer. He gave up his military career to save his family's peanut farm. His father had passed on fairly wealthy. However, due to his leniency to debtors and several inheritors, Carter got a small portion of the farm. He left his naval job and went to rescue the farm. The first year was a failure. He did not give up. He took loans and took farming courses. With the help of his wife, he managed to make the farm quite successful. Number 4. His post-presidency was more successful than his presidency. He concentrated on building his legacy after the failed re-election. His public career grew immensely. In 1982, he founded the Carter Center. This center has played an active role in human rights and disease prevention issues globally. The Carters have helped promote and expand human rights. He has traveled extensively to conduct peace negotiations, monitor elections, and advance disease prevention and eradication in developing nations. He has written over 30 books, ranging from political memoirs to poetry. He has continued to actively comment on ongoing American and global affairs. Number 5. He was denied valedictorian for truancy. He was a very good student. He was actually up for the valedictorian position. On the day of voting, he was nowhere to be seen. He and his friends had decided to skip school to venture downtown in a hot rod. This was a fast classic car. His truancy went ahead to be mentioned in a local newspaper. Number 6. Carter is the longest married president. While at the academy, he fell in love with Rosalind Smith, a friend of his sister Ruth. The two married shortly after his graduation in 1946. At 97 years old, he has had a 76-year-long marriage. Rosalind has been beside him in his career. She was a very helpful first wife and remained his close advisor. She continued to help fund the Carter Center. She has been an integral person in the center's activities. Number 7. He did not have a cordial relationship with the Congress. When he became president, he did not conform to the Washington rules. He did not recognize the norm of returning favors. He missed and refused to return phone calls. He verbally hurled insults. This relationship with Congress did not help him. Many of the agendas he tried to push were shot down. Number 8. He was against racism and segregation. His family had settled in an area entirely populated by impoverished African American families. His father was not against him playing with the farmhand children. When he took the Senate seat, it was around the era of the Civil Rights Movement. He was a supporter of John F. Kennedy. However, he did remain quiet about the issue to avoid making enemies. In his race as the governor, he became more blatant about racism. In the runoff, he had to change his tone to garner more votes. When he won, he shocked the crowd when he said that the time of racial discrimination was over. Number 9. Carter is the oldest living former president. Carter has many firsts when it comes to American presidents. He is the first president to be born in a hospital. His mother was a registered nurse. He is 97 years old. This makes him the oldest living president. He also has had the longest post-presidency life. He has been married for 75 years. This makes him the longest married president. Number 10. He was a below-average president. He was popular when first voted out. However, towards the end of his presidency, he was not favored. In his era, rising energy costs, mounting inflation, and continuing tensions were witnessed. Efforts to reduce inflation and interest rates caused a short recession. It also gave him the name budget cutter. He failed in the second attempt majorly because of the capturing of Americans and the continued inflation.